The peace of your true self can never be lost. This is inherent to who you are. It is inherent to every single person in existence. Their true self is at peace all of the time. If everybody come to realize this, it would change the world. Because currently, we don't know that we are the peace, so we are always looking to external things to stimulate me, to give me pleasure, to make me happy. We've got things like alcohol, drugs, unhealthy, greasy food, pornography, video games, all these TV shows, entertainment, all of these sorts of things are just stimulation because we haven't found the peace within ourselves. We think happiness and fulfillment is outside of me. So let me take in all this stimulation. Let me eat all this unhealthy food or buy all these things so I can feel this fulfillment that I'm desperately after. But what if everybody's looking in the wrong direction? What if the peace is already there? It's already within you, but no one's actually told you that it's there. And sometimes when we say something like this, somebody who hasn't experienced it might think that this peace is something boring. Because if I'm not doing anything, if I'm not constantly stimulating myself, then I'm bored. But this peace I'm talking about is anything but boredom. It's a deep, fulfilling, warm type of peace. And when you find it, you want to spend a lot of time in it. This is why people meditate a lot of the time, or for long periods of time, is because when they find that peace, there's really not much else they would like to do. I'm just very happy being at peace. I can sit for an hour just being at absolute peace in myself. I don't need constant stimulation, you see. Why would I? If the fulfillment is already there, I don't need to add anything to me. Oftentimes adding things to me takes the fulfillment away, right? So what I'm guiding you toward is to start to look within. One of the biggest problems we have is our minds, our thinking, our thoughts, our emotions, our feelings. These are always distracting us away from this inherent peace. And the best analogy for this, which you might have heard about before, is the sun and the clouds. The sun is like your true self. It is always shining. That deep peace of who you are, it's always there. But just like the clouds cover the sky and cover the sun, thoughts and feelings and emotions, they distract you from your true self. Because when it gets cloudy outside and rainy, you forget about the sun. You feel like this is just a doom and gloom day now. This is so bad. Oh my God, I can't do anything. This is what happens when our thoughts and emotions take over. They completely distract us from the deep peace that is there. This is why you need to work on cultivating that. This is why you need to do things like shadow work. So once you've felt that connection, you need to start to remove the things that are in the way of the connection. Using that analogy, once you find the sun, you have to find a way to remove the clouds. Obviously, we can't remove clouds in the world, but we can remove our internal clouds by healing, by doing shadow work, to find out the source of a lot of our thinking and a lot of our emotions and slowly clear them out of the way. So there's just more peace. And then I can move through life in this state most of the time. And when you move through the life with a sense of peace, that changes your life experience. People will sense something off you. People will treat you accordingly. You're less reactive emotionally. You don't get triggered as much. By the point you found the peace, you've learned how to deal with your triggers. You've learned how to master your emotions. And then most of the things that you do, the action that you take, comes from this deep place within you. So if you imagine all of your action, everything that you do is coming from that place, is going to be much more meaningful. As opposed to most people's action comes from dysfunctional thinking, negative programming, trauma responses. That's where most people's action and doing comes from. You find that peace, all your action takes on a different quality. And then you can actually stop pursuing meaningless things that you think you need to be happy and fulfilled, then you can actually find your true purpose and find what you were put here to do, okay? Because you don't need millions and millions and millions. You don't necessarily need to fall madly in love with someone and be miserable if you don't have them, because you found a deep peace. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with making money or having a relationship, but I'm just saying you don't need to find your fulfillment in them things when you find yourself. And there is your true purpose is born out of that. Until you find your true self, you cannot find your true purpose. You will always be fooled by the world. Okay, the world has a strong pull. The conditioning, the constant programming we receive is very, very deceiving. And it's only when you connect to yourself and find that, can you start to differentiate between the external and the internal truth. And hopefully over time you strengthen that connection and start to live more from that place. Okay, well, life's just better all round. It's better. Okay, it's like upgrading from 720p or 1080p to 4K. Okay, you're still experiencing the same things. It's just a much better quality of life. Okay, so that's what I want for you. So that's all I've got to talk to you about today. If you want to watch more stuff like this, feel free to check out these videos right here. But until next time, God bless.